What if a single moment could change the course of history? How does the decision to drop an atomic bomb on Hiroshima continue to echo through the corridors of modern warfare? The atomic bomb, a term that conjures images of immense destruction and profound historical shifts. Its introduction marked the dawn of a new era in global politics and warfare. Imagine a weapon so powerful that its very existence could alter the strategic calculations of nations around the world. This was the reality the world woke up to in the mid-20th century during the tumultuous times of World War II. The devastation wrought by nuclear weapons is unparalleled. Cities could be obliterated in seconds, with casualties numbering in the tens of thousands. The shockwaves of these bombings were felt not just physically but geopolitically, reshaping the landscape of international relations. This pivotal moment was not random but the culmination of years of war, strategy, and scientific breakthroughs. Rewind to the early 1940s, the world is engulfed in conflict. World War II reaches a fever pitch. Europe and the Pacific are theaters of extensive military operations, the likes of which the world has never seen. In Europe, Nazi Germany under Adolf Hitler has conquered vast swaths of territory, pushing the Allies to their limits. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, Japan's imperial ambitions result in a sprawling conflict across Asia and the Pacific Islands. As the war intensifies, the United States, initially reluctant to join the fray, finds itself drawn inevitably into the global conflict following the shocking attack on Pearl Harbor by the Japanese in 1941. This act catalyzes the U.S. involvement on two fronts, Europe and the Pacific. The Allies, primarily comprised of the United States, the United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union, find themselves grappling with the Axis powers, striving to counter the advances of Germany and Japan. Each battle, each campaign, from the deserts of North Africa to the forests of Ardennes and the waters of the Pacific, is fought with desperation and the hope of stalling the Axis's seemingly unstoppable momentum. As the war drags on, with devastating human costs and no end immediately in sight, the Allied leaders start to ponder more drastic solutions to bring about a swift conclusion to the war. The immense strain on resources and the high casualty rates prompt a new line of thinking, one that could potentially end the war with a single, powerful stroke. This period marks a significant escalation in the development of advanced weaponry, influenced by both desperation and the rapid progress of science during wartime. The idea of a weapon of unprecedented destructive power begins to take form: a nuclear weapon. The race towards its development involves some of the brightest minds of the era, leading to the secretive and ambitious Manhattan Project. As the war dragged on, the Allies began to search for a swift and decisive end to the conflict. In the secret labs of Los Alamos, a new weapon of unimaginable power was born. Nestled in the remote mesas of New Mexico, this clandestine initiative, known as the Manhattan Project, marked a pivotal chapter in human history. Led by the brilliant physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer, a team of the finest minds from around the globe converged with a singular, daunting mission: to harness atomic energy for the creation of a bomb. The project was as much a scientific endeavor as it was a race against time. World War II raged across continents, and there was a palpable fear that Nazi Germany might develop an atomic bomb first. The scientists were divided, torn between the moral implications of their work and the necessity to end the war. Ethical debates were frequent, with some researchers questioning whether science was stepping too far, too fast. Amidst these internal conflicts, the technical challenges were immense. Separating sufficient quantities of uranium-235, a key ingredient for the bomb, required innovation on an unprecedented scale. The introduction of the first nuclear reactor and the development of complex separation techniques were groundbreaking. As months turned into years, the project consumed vast resources, amounting to over $2 billion and employing over 120,000 people across multiple secret sites. Yet, all the while, the work remained shrouded in utmost secrecy, with many workers unaware of the true nature of their tasks. Finally, on July 16, 1945, the culmination of this intense effort was tested at an isolated desert in New Mexico. The Trinity test was a success. A blinding flash, a colossal mushroom cloud, and an explosive power equivalent to 20,000 tons of TNT confirmed the fearsome capabilities of the atomic bomb. With the successful Trinity test, the reality of atomic warfare was no longer just theoretical. Among several potential targets, why was Hiroshima chosen? In the waning days of World War II, the decision to drop the atomic bomb was marked by a complex interplay of military strategy and psychological warfare. Hiroshima, a relatively unknown city on the global stage, was selected for reasons both strategic and symbolic. Firstly, Hiroshima was a significant military hub. It housed the headquarters of the 2nd General Army and the 5th Division, which were responsible for defending southern Japan. The city also contained important logistical support, including communication centers and assembly areas for troops. This made it a strategic target for crippling Japan's ability to continue the war. Moreover, Hiroshima had not been subjected to the extensive bombing that other Japanese cities had faced during the war. This fact alone made it an ideal location for the United States to gauge the destructive power of the atomic bomb. The city's urban density, with closely packed wooden residential structures, promised a high level of destruction from the blast, providing a stark demonstration of the bomb's power. The choice of Hiroshima also carried a profound psychological dimension. The shock of witnessing an entire city obliterated by a single bomb was anticipated to send a powerful message not only to Japan, but to the entire world. The psychological impact aimed to hasten the end of the war by breaking Japanese morale and demonstrating the futility of further resistance. Furthermore, Hiroshima's relatively untouched state provided a clear before and after comparison for assessing the bomb's impact. This was crucial not just from a military effectiveness standpoint, but also from a scientific and technological perspective. The data gathered from Hiroshima would shape future military strategies and push forward the boundaries of nuclear research. Thus, the selection of Hiroshima was not merely tactical, but also a calculated decision intended to project power, induce fear, and shift global geopolitical dynamics in favor of the United States. Hiroshima was not just a target, it was a statement. August 6, 1945, a date which will live in infamy. On that fateful morning, the city of Hiroshima awoke not to the familiar sounds of daily life, but to the ominous hum of a B-29 bomber, known as the Enola Gay, flying high above. At approximately 8:15 in the morning, a single atomic bomb, codenamed Little Boy, was released over the city. Within seconds, a blinding flash and a monumental fireball enveloped the area, followed by a devastating shockwave. The immediate aftermath was catastrophic. Hiroshima, a bustling urban center, was transformed almost instantaneously into a scorched expanse. Buildings were flattened or incinerated, except for a few structures near the bomb's hypocenter that remained eerily standing amidst the ruin. The intense heat and subsequent fires ignited by the explosion caused unfathomable destruction and loss of life. Estimates vary, but it is widely acknowledged that tens of thousands perished on that day alone, with total casualties including those who later died from radiation exposure, reaching well over 100,000. The majority were civilians, including women and children, making the human cost of this military action profoundly severe. The immediate military and political outcomes were significant. The bombing of Hiroshima, followed by the subsequent bombing of Nagasaki just 3 days later, hastened the end of World War II. Japan, facing such overwhelming destruction and the prospect of additional atomic attacks, announced its unconditional surrender on August 15. This marked the end of a grueling and costly conflict. But it also signaled the beginning of a new and uncertain era. The use of atomic weaponry by the United States not only altered the course of the war, but also transformed international relations and military strategy permanently. It introduced the world to the nuclear age, an era defined by the threat of atomic warfare and a delicate balance of power. The world watched in horror and awe as the atomic age was ushered in over Hiroshima. The echoes of Hiroshima's devastation reverberate through history. As the smoke cleared over the city on that fateful day, the world was irrevocably changed. The impact of the atomic bomb on Hiroshima extended far beyond its immediate, horrific destruction. It reshaped the landscape of international relations and warfare ethics for generations to come. In the wake of the bombing, the world stood at a precipice. Nations quickly grasped the devastating potential of nuclear weapons, sparking a frantic arms race during the Cold War. Superpowers amassed vast arsenals of nuclear warheads, each capable of erasing entire cities in the blink of an eye. The specter of nuclear war hung heavy over the globe, a grim reminder of the scenes witnessed in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Yet from the ashes of destruction also rose efforts for peace and disarmament. The tragedy of Hiroshima galvanized international movements advocating for nuclear non-proliferation. Treaties and agreements aimed at curbing the spread and development of nuclear weapons were established, reflecting a collective desire to prevent any nation from suffering as Hiroshima did. Moreover, the ethical considerations surrounding warfare were fundamentally altered. The world had witnessed the appalling human cost of deploying such powerful weapons, prompting ongoing debates about the morality of nuclear warfare. These discussions continue to influence military policies and international humanitarian laws, striving to balance national security with ethical responsibilities. Hiroshima remains a powerful reminder of the destructive capabilities humans wield and the responsibilities that come with such power. As we reflect on the somber realities of Hiroshima, we must consider what lessons we carry forward. Today we explored the intricate decisions that led to the bombing of Hiroshima, from the escalation of World War II to the pivotal role of the Manhattan Project. Understanding these moments is crucial not just for historical accuracy, but for shaping our future decisions. Did this deeper look into the reasons behind the bombing of Hiroshima change your perspective? Comment below with your thoughts, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.